sounds so good. V for victory. That's all the words I know for my own fight song for Villanova. V for Villanova, V for victory.
I've got the lyrics over here.
Oh, you got the lyrics for me, Mark? You want to sing it?
I don't know the song well enough to sing it.
You don't know the cadence of the song.
And that's the way it goes with school songs, high school and college. You know the first line, maybe. Right? You get going once the band fires up. But the rest.
Well, exactly. Normally I was drinking too much of the games to really know what was going on anyway.
After the first line.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we're playing the Villanova fight song because the new pope is a Villanova graduate. That's right. Class of 77. Robert Francis Prevost, who is Pope Leo the 14th, was born in Chicago September 14th of 1955. His father was a U.S. Navy veteran who fought in World War II. His mother was a librarian. He completed his secondary studies and then earned his Bachelor of Science in Mathematics at Villanova. Prevost speaks multiple languages: English, Spanish, Italian, French, and Portuguese. He spent much of his career in Peru, serving as a missionary and a seminary teacher. He was appointed by Pope Francis in 2023 to recommend bishop nominations worldwide. And of course, most notably, he is the first American-born pope in history. Now, a lot of people are going through his background. They're bringing up tweets of his, that are anti-Trump to some degree when it comes to the issue of immigration. There are tweets of his from 2020 being sympathetic to the George Floyd protests. I'll get to that in a second, but the first thing, I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore. I was raised Catholic, raised in a Catholic church. We now attend a non-denominational church after we spent probably really 10 years stepping away from our faith, but we are really glad that we have leaned back into it, and we've done it in a way that is fitting for Kate and I, for our family, and it's been one of the best things to happen to us over the last few years, and we're so glad that we did it. So I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody based on their faith, Catholicism, otherwise. This whole process to me in picking the next pope is super political in nature. And while I respect the Pope and the Catholic Church and a lot of what they have done worldwide, there is an element of it to me as well that I step back and I say, this is kind of why I left, to be honest. Like, I'm rooting for the guy. He's a Villanovan. I hope that he leads the Catholic Church down the right path and is traditional in nature and does what is in the best interests of Catholics and stays away from a lot of the politics that Pope Francis willingly chose to go down the road of. I hope that, and I pray that for him. But as I watched the process play out yesterday, too, like the white smoke deal, did you see the way the crowd reacted to the white smoke? It was like Jesus had returned. It was amazing. And to me, that kind of a celebration is only reserved for one man and one man only. And that is the eventual return of Jesus. But this man is now in charge of the church, the Catholic Church worldwide. And it's a huge deal. And it's a huge deal in part because he is the first American-born pope in history. Now, as to, the politics of this, right? There was a lot of online trolling yesterday about this guy and saying that Pope Leo is, anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, anti-this, anti-that. See, I don't think we can really, and I don't think we really want to go down that road of looking at this guy and saying, well, I think he's this politically, I think he's that politically. That's not a game that I want to really play. And frankly, I don't think it's a game that we should play, even if I disagree with him on some of these tweets that he's put up. If you think about it, if you're a Catholic right now, then obviously you believe that the Pope was elected through the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So trolling through his Twitter feed and analyzing tweets of his, as if he was just elected to a seat in the House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate is not really the play if you're a Catholic. Now, if you're not a Catholic, then, I guess the gloves are off to a certain extent, but I still think there is a respect for the Catholic Church and Catholicism that we should have here and say, I'm not going to overanalyze tweets from this guy. Like he's going to have some impact on policy in the United States, because he's really not. And if you are a practicing Catholic, then you do or theoretically should believe that his election is ordained by God. So making it hyper-political based on some tweets, to me, is not the play here. All right? It's not something that we should spend a lot of time on. We should give him grace. Practicing Catholics obviously should support him and have his back and hope that he's doing best for and by the Catholic Church. For me, I'm rooting for him as a fellow Villanovan, not as a practicing Catholic because I'm not one. But I do hope he does well because he obviously will be one of the faces of Christianity, if not the biggest face of Christianity around the world. And for all Christians, whether you're Catholic or not, obviously that would be good for all of us if he does a good job on the global and world stage. And having him be someone from the United States, obviously, and the first American-born pope is a really big deal. There's no doubt about it. Now, the real question is this. Who has the more famous alum now?
Well, see, that's the thing. When I saw that white smoke coming up, I knew my days were over.
Who was your Baker buddy?
My Baker alum, Frank Bisignano, was confirmed as the head of Social Security last week at the Senate confirmation. And so for a few weeks there, I enjoyed that status of having the most famous alumni here in the program.
Well, here's what you've got, though, over me. You actually went to school with Frank Bisignano.
I did share a dorm room, so.
Yeah, not only went to school with him,
proximity.
You shared a dorm room with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pope Leo graduated, 33 years before I did.
He's 5 years older than I am. So.
Yeah, he's 70 years old. So
closer to your parents' age.
Exactly. Literally born 3 months before my father.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, you still have, if you want to play that game, John, at least with Frank Bisignano, who is Trump's pick to run Social Security, at least you can say you literally dormed with the guy.
I got that going for me.
You got
but
that going for you.
Your guy's a lifetime appointment. My guy's in there met, 4 years? I don't know.
That's true.
As long as Frank wants.
That's a good
Get
point.
the hell out of Dodge, Frank.
All right, Mark, what do you got for us? You got to give me a famous
got
alum.
Some football players, don't we?
Give me someone good from Mid-America.
Yeah, we've got some nice local mayors. Tyrone Gardner,
KCK.
Oh,
He's KCK?
Yeah.
He's a Mid-America guy?
Yeah.
I think
some people in the House.
Back in the day, Ken Jolly played linebacker for the Chiefs. He made it from Mid-American Nazarene,
right.
so there you go.
Okay.
That was back Division II days, I think.
How about that?
That's nothing huge, but a few locals.
All right. Well, we got to get Trump to find someone from Mid-America.
No federal appointments there that he know of, I guess.
Oh, we got to find one. That's what we got to do. We don't want to leave Mid-America behind here in all this. All right? I got the Pope. John's got Frank Bisignano. And Mark needs somebody to be able to wave the flag on behalf of here on the show. All right, need someone. Find him. Come on, Trump. Let's go. Let's get it done there, buddy. Hurry up.
There was a story about a lady who was the first female fighter pilot. She landed a plane that was about to crash. So she could maybe be the aviation director or something. Trump needs to get on her.
Yeah, maybe Sean Duffy can hire her in the transportation department. Wow, way to set up my tease here, Mark. Did you hear what Trump said about Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the former transportation secretary? Oh, man, this was a doozy because what's going on right now is obviously the airline industry is a mess. It is. I mean, Newark Airport has been top of the news here the last few days because there are planes literally taking off and getting lost in the sky. So you've got media now saying, Trump, you're going to fix the airlines? It's like, what did Mayor Pete do for all those years? The guy got the job as transportation secretary because he enjoyed choo-choo trains. And he was fighting racism from airlines or racism by planes or something like that.
I don't know if he was in charge of South Bend International Airport.
Oh, man.
I had to give her a shout. Tammy Jo Schultz was her name.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
All right.
America.
There you go.
All right, Tammy. You're not Pope Leo, but you'll do for now.